Hello,
Hello, my
my
name is
name is
Tiara,
Tiara, and this
and
is what I read this week for chapter 16. So, for chapters 16 through 19, it discusses several different subjects: temperament and social development, gender differences in children's play, race and ethnicity, children's social development, and early educational experiences. So, something that stood out to me was temperament. And temperament refers to a child's biological, behavioral style and emotional reactivity. It forms a foundation for personality and dictates how the child approaches new situations, regulates their emotions, and reacts in social situations. So I think that's something that really stood out to me in these chapters. Um, In terms of race and ethnicity, I think that's also super important because that kind of goes aligned with culture, which also plays a huge role in parenting and the environment to which the children or the child grows up in and develops in. Um, and then children's social development and early educational experiences, I think, is really, really important. It kind of gives them an idea of where they fit in this world, and it's some of their first experiences in life with, quote unquote society or our societal expectations, and it's kind of their first dose of it. And I think that preschool and those early childhood developmental programs really, really put a foundation down for the child's development. So this will discuss chapters 20 through 22 and then chapter 4. It highlights several topics: children's interpersonal skills and school-based relationships, personal and social development and child participation in sports, and religion and social development. And then chapter 4 goes into early childhood development and several kind of highlighted points that a child should kind of hit at certain ages, like motor skills, safe sleep, nutritional concerns, language development, gender, sibling relationships, and many more. So for child's interpersonal skills and school-based relationships, I think this is a really important subject, and it's one that kind of stood out to me in this section of our reading because um, there's kind of like a cause and effect, in my opinion. So, like, peer acceptance directly kind of predicts long-term academic success and therefore later in life career success, because in a real life, for example, office setting, and a lot of people do end up in office settings. It is similar to kind of the social base network, the way it works at school. So I think that's really important. And also on the flip side, there's social rejection, which kind of risks later emotional withdrawal or social withdrawal, which clearly has the opposite effect, which is negative. Um, in terms of sport participation, it clearly supports the social aspect of it. It also instills teamwork dynamics and teaches the children how to share goals and have a collective responsibility, which is also super important. It also builds resilience and peer status. Um, Religion obviously has a lot to do also with the child's development. It's kind of like the home base. It starts at home, and like for example, our family doesn't eat pork. So oftentimes my children do have to eat differently and or eat something different, and it does kind of impact them socially. And I don't necessarily know if it's in a positive or a negative way, but it certainly is something that when it comes to social gatherings and even at school, they have to kind of either eat separately or have something separate to eat. So, from a personal experience, I understand how that does impact childhood development.